Without her, she may be here, she may not.
Okay.
Yeah, she called.
So the camera's on, if somebody wants to call it to order.
I called to order the Employment and Police Commission at 4 o'clock.
On the agenda in front of you, we have 3 items. The first of which I think is the primary reason we're here is loan for employees. I think Mr. Johnson brought up the issue not long ago about the town, and indeed we have, as you know, lent money to pay off debts to 2 employees over the past 7, 8 years, 8.5 years that I've been here. One was to pay off back property taxes, and the other was to unlock an individual's checking account because he had been sued, and suit had been filed against him by an attorney doing collections. And on both occasions, the employees signed agreements. We have copies of those agreements. And, I agree. Should we be making loans to employees? I mean, we're trying to help folks. We're not trying to hurt folks. Some people agree with it, some people don't. It's not done with malice towards the town or the taxpayers or anybody else. The problem only comes in when that individual chooses not to fulfill their obligations. And we wouldn't be discussing this as well if a particular individual hadn't chosen to ignore their
Okay,
obligations.
so if you do that, it's not illegal to lend money for the town to lend money because they're not getting interest off of it. What's illegal about it is the way we went about it.
What was illegal about that?
Because, $5,000 is a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So you stuck yourself out there when you went $5,000.
Well, I think this is the smaller one. The house that was up for tax sale was much
Yeah,
more.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is, I don't know, I think we should us as the employment committee should sit down and try to figure out how we can help these employees when they need it.
I agree with that, but maybe it should come down to where, is there any way it could come down to where it's up our discretion?
Yeah.
Like if
The
we're,
council has to approve
if
these,
we're
right?
presented with it,
Window.
yeah.
Okay.
Council's been reviewing these things.
Okay.
These big ones like this, yeah.
Or maybe put a cap on how much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever y'all want to do or don't do.
Because, man, you got garbage men out there. Let's face it.
But you also got to look at, other person that got a job from other employees. Yeah, I can't go borrow money.
If you work for the,
I come to the town and borrow money.
But Peanut, okay, here's my thing.
Why can't we just set, if that's the case, you set up fundraiser, you give fish fries or something, you raise money for the help people.
Just to interject, we lend money to people all the time
That's right.
because we give people breaks on the utility bills all the time.
Yes, I mean, come on now, but you talking $4,000 or $5,000.
Agreed.
And
Maybe a different figure.
then when the person don't pay the money back, you hold stuff on top of their head. The town should not be in the business of lending nobody no money.
I'm not saying we should be in the business of lending. Okay, look, a guy out here, what is it, $9 an hour? Okay, suppose he comes down one month where he's in a hardship, or maybe one of his kids got sick.
How are we gonna sit here and say because a person making $9, you got people that making $7 an hour living in the town of Blacksburg is having hardship and can't get money from nobody.
But Peter, if you realize this now, if you work for the state, you got the credit union. If you work for the federal government, you got our program.
Right, but I got to have good credit just to go get it. So why can't they have the credit or go get it or whatever? We should not be in the business using my taxpayer money to lend to somebody else. Tax-free.
So if that's the case, then your train of thought is if anybody comes in here who needs a break on their electric bill, don't give it to them.
Well, we've reduced the number.
Now, based on Mr. Johnson's recommendation, let's put it out there, based on his recommendation, we shouldn't be, let me finish. I didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you while you were talking. Let me finish, please. So based on his recommendation, it would fall the same for anybody else, not just a town employee, that we shouldn't be loaning money to anybody, which would include giving people breaks on electric bills, correct? If you're gonna do it once, you gotta do it, if you're gonna do it one way, you gotta do it the same way for everybody.
So that's how y'all want to be slick and wording it then.
No, that's the way, no, because you have a habit of looking at things the way you wanna look at them.
What are we, I mean,
That's what you call slick and being wording something.
what,
Nah.
But
the
if
only
that's
thing,
what you want to say, it's fine with me.
But
But I
what-
don't have a problem with that. Because I may not stay up and say I said it or I didn't say it.
But what I'm telling
That's
you,
what I'm
That's not
saying
the
is, why
issue,
can't you
Peter.
get the town people, you get the citizens and see what they have to say on this. That let everybody have a opinion.
But that's the way you approaching it.
You know,
Because you can't do for one if you're not gonna do for all.
it's a
Now
difference.
we're trying to help people that work for us. We've also been helping people that live in this town with us. But your vocabulary states we shouldn't be in the business of helping anybody.
I said we should be in the business of loaning money.
It's the same thing. If you're giving people breaks on utility bills and so they don't have to pay, that's loaning them money so they don't have to pay us
How you
back.
getting them a break? How you not giving them? You telling them you can pay within what certain
You
days?
see what I'm trying to say?
Payment agreement.
Oh, okay.
A payment arrangement.
Same thing we have with us.
It's a small amount, it's $400 versus $4,000.
Right.
Okay, all right, because I can see that this is going to entitle a whole lot. So right now, what we need to do is say we just not going to lend any money at all to anybody. Better way to break it up. Because if we go this way and you start saying you can't give people the light bill money, then you're hurting again. So the best thing to do is we're going to recommend it to the council. We don't lend money no more.
What we do is.
So what's going to happen when the man come try to borrow $3,000 from you, a town employee?
Go to the bank.
Okay, but I'll recommend the council that we're not letting any more money out.
Just on the utility bills, what we do, it used to be on cutoff day, man, it was just a line of people in here. Yeah, oh, please, I've got nebulizer, I've got asthma. And so we were given multiple chances for folks, especially when these bills are high. This time of year when it's $700 and all that. So we came to council, the lady said, Phil, we really need to codify this. And council agreed that they would do everybody got 2 extensions. And what that is, that extension is, you can extend it for a period of time and or make payment arrangements because you have an outstanding bill. Okay? We'll leave you on, but you make an extra $100 a month payment until you get your whole account paid off, interest-free.
So that's a policy?
That's what we're doing now.
That's what we're doing now?
2 times. Everybody gets 2 shots. We figure you're
So
gonna
if
have.
you cut me off this month, I get my lights back on. Next month you cut me out, I'm finished.
No, you still got second time.
I say, if you cut them off in February and I pay you, then I let my March bill lag out.
And then we'll work with you again.
That's the second time, but there is no more.
It used to be kind of the same folks over and over and over, but we just do it 2 times. And it's codified, it's reduced the number of people that come in. This past month, we had several come in around Christmas time, didn't have the money on it.
Well, I agree with you, Nat, that if we're gonna continue to help people, I don't have a problem with that, but we should put a cap on it and maybe you gotta be here for so many years before, have time invested before, or.
We do have a former agreement that Tessie drew up, an agreement that has been signed by one of our employees. It's multiple pages stating that they would stay with the town's employment and payment agreement and arrangements, and we haven't signed it, but
So that would cover them just up and leaving after?
well, I think we could have pressed that matter because they indeed violated the agreement, but it's like selling real estate. You can make somebody buy something just because they said they wanted to buy it. It's easier just to say, let's part ways. The problem became the payment stop on that several $1,000s, and that became the issue, and that was the problem.
How long had that employee been with the town before that?
They've been there a long time. I can't tell you exactly, but I'd say 10, 15 years at least. They haven't been around long. He wasn't here when I left back in the late 90s, so it was sometime after that. And,
I don't know.
okay.
All right, so we're gonna recommend the council, no more lending money for anybody.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Now keep in mind, we've got some other things too that we do for folks. Okay?
Okay, now, I got a
Second,
question.
so is that a motion?
Yeah.
Tearing
Did you
down
second
houses.
that?
Hold on,
All
let's,
that kind
let's,
of stuff.
let's talk a little bit more.
Putting curb and gutter, those are all agreements, interest free. Remember we talked about we were gonna put interest on the curb and gutter. But when we tear these houses down Jean Birdsong, for example, she had an old house down on Broad Street, we tore down not long ago. And we were able to tear that down because it was grant reimbursed. But if somebody like the Williams sisters, who own the house behind L.V. Harris, they've agreed to let us tear that house. It's gotten bad. And they live in New York and they're elderly. They really can't handle the business. So we can tear it down, and we're gonna sign a payment agreement with them, they pay $100 a month to pay it back, interest-free, to just get that dilapidated house down. If you don't know where it's at, it's right on North Main Street, right behind LV's shop. So we've done them right now, look. And people are paying on them. There's some people that do better than others in paying on them, but we continually, that's why Allison continually sends out bills and doing stuff.
Okay, this piece of paper we got, this can't be shared with anybody, right?
It came up.
This can't be shared, this gotta be turned back in.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Right, okay. But I would like to make it known that I have did some investigation and I'm not gonna make no conclusions unless the man wants to come and be in the opening. I'm not gonna put the man out there like that. As I told y'all before. So if he wants to come and say his say, that's cool.
He do.
Okay, well, I texted him today, and I told him what was going on. See, everybody likes to jump on me, but see, I like to stay a step ahead of the game, and I told this young lady right here, I told her Monday when we were talking about this, I said, we need Andre here, and we all agreed to have him here. I texted him and told him 4 o'clock.
Well, I don't know if he was off today, but I know we had talked about it.
But-
for New Year, because he was off for the New Year's holiday. I mean, he worked for Christmas.
All right, so we're gonna, cause he's not here, we're gonna table this, the rest of this. Now, if he wants to come to open hearing, he needs to get in touch with her, and the employee committee will meet with him. But I'm not gonna put that man's business out in the street, and I'm sure nobody else is. This is one-on-one. I have talked to the man, I talked to him Sunday.
But no matter how many meetings we have, basically, it's gonna fall down on whether Mr. Van Norbert wants to hire him back or not. I
Well,
don't care how many meetings you go to.
Only thing that I'm saying is, I got criticized, I wasn't even on
I'm willing to
council.
hear his case from him if he'd like to come in, but
I
really boils
wanna
down
hear it
to,
too, I wanna hear his side.
I would like to hear an explanation as to why when we do go out to help, he just ups and
Yeah.
leave. I would like to hear his side of that, if he'd like to come in.
He do. I mean, but they, I talked to him from New Year's, me and him, we talked a long time. Man, Andre is my cousin. And we talked, like he said right there, it's not about the job, you know, it's about the principle of the thing. And like I told him, he got to explain his side, because there's 3 sides to a story.
Two sides, not 3.
2 sides, because Wallace is, said Walker, they saying Wallace don't want him back too. So we got to hear everybody's side, then you can see out
Right.
what's going on. And I will get with him and I'll let one of y'all know what day he's off.
I got his phone number, I'll call him. But like I say, he texted me and he said that generally his day he worked, but he was gonna be here, try to be here. But he's not here. So I guess we'll just table this until,
Until he decides he wants to show up.
right.
All right, moving on.
We didn't make a motion, right?
No.
Cause I'd like for you and I to talk more.
I'll make a motion that we not lend out any money to town employees under no circumstances. You want a second?
How about, do we continue with the other utility extensions and all that stuff? And tearing down houses and doing all that?
See, when you put that utility station and stuff in, what if people's on oxygen and stuff like that? You cannot cut them off. See, you
I don't
can't
think we're talking about people that's got a physical
I
handicap.
mean, but it's still falling up on the same.
Well, I mean,
Not really.
what are we gonna do if a town employee comes to us and says, man, if you don't cut my heat off, I got 2 small kids at home.
We do, and we're being around the criticized.
Okay, well,
folks, you know?
I tell
This
you
here
what,
is for about this man didn't pay the 100 and whatever he paid. This is what this is about. So now, well,
is it paid off?
It's paid off.
It's paid off now.
We garnished his, or put a
Right.
treasurer's lien.
But I don't feel that we should stop doing what we're doing as far as the utility bills and burning and stuff. No, I'm not gonna go along with you on that, fella.
Then
I'm not gonna go along with nobody.
I'm not ready to jump in and say that we're not gonna help town employees yet. I mean, I think we should get together, maybe come to a mutual agreement as to like how much, how long they've been with us, blah, blah.
We're fine with helping folks. and the 2 times, and that codified it, so everybody gets 2 shots, not 1 shot, but they get 2, and that's working fine. We're not proposing, I wouldn't tear down houses, we wouldn't build curb and gutter.
But what if you got a town employee come to you, I got 2 small kids at home, man, they're gonna cut my heat and all off, what?
You can't do it. You're not gonna do it.
Cost them,
No. The way we got the light bills and all that, that's not an issue.
Issue.
we didn't bring it to.
That's not an issue,
It's
folks.
not a staff matter.
So we don't need to talk that, break it up. We're gonna leave everything.
I'm not the only one that's talking about this.
People gonna talk anyway, everything we do in here, people talk, people
The
talk.
mayor got a lot of responses, and a lot of people disagreeing with me on this. I mean, we shouldn't be in the business of doing this.
Well, how about if it's
You
money
make my job a
that's
lot
not taxpayers' money as far as, like, funds set aside for something else, from something else?
Well, one of the things we could do, and we work with HELP, we work with, Crenshaw's pay a lot of utility bills and people like that.
I don't think we should do anything, man, until we get legal representation for Telsey.
For what?
I don't think we should do anything as far as lending money or even.
Let's table this until we can have a meeting with Tessa,
Yeah, to
so she can
Tessa.
tell us exactly what our
Exactly what's
limitations are.
About the employees?
About
Yes.
the employees, about this money
Just
thing.
do nothing now.
Just table the whole.
Just
We
table the
just
whole
gonna
thing.
table the whole thing. But in the meanwhile, while we doing this, we're not gonna
We're
make
gonna
it suspend all loans.
suspend loans until we talk to her and find out.
Council doesn't need to vote on it. That's
Okay. I see the second thing is chain of command.
something you can't do.
Yeah,
What you got?
because I don't feel it's right that a citizen should be able to jump over his ward representation and come to you, and then we don't know what it's about. I feel that, and this is in Richmond anywhere, before they go anywhere, they go talk to their ward rep. And the ward rep brings it to them, brings it to you. But here, you see your office is always full, you know, people you don't even expect. It shouldn't be that way. In the military, you have a chain of command. Big corporations have a chain of command. We need a chain of command.
Well, the town charter and the town code gives a very clear chain of command.
But we're not utilizing it.
It's not what you're saying it should be.
So you're saying that,
It says very clearly the town council makes the policies for the town, rules, makes decisions and that sort of thing. But as far as the day-to-day operation of the town, it's staff. People aren't supposed to come see us. They got their leaves, or their garbage ain't get picked up, or that's what we're supposed to do.
I understand that, but I'm talking about when you got these big, okay, like this incident right here. You know, like the man say, it could lead up to something big. I figure that before it's discussed with anybody, it should be discussed with us three.
Okay.
The same way with the building and grounds. You got a problem with building and ground, it should be discussed with them first. Then let them come and tell us.
I feel like I communicate quite well with the council. I call you if it's a police and employment committee. I called you about one of our employees having.
So are you talking about the citizen?
You know, man, everybody just bogarts. They hear something on Facebook and they just run up in here. Get the facts.
You never gonna stop it.
Hey, if you get a
I
change
know
of
where
command,
you're
you
coming
stop
from,
it.
but you never gonna stop it.
It's creative.
Because we have that wonderful social media.
Okay, a question. If a citizen comes to Marvin, okay, I'm not in your ward.
I'm at large, so
Well, okay, well, I'm not gonna use you, but I'm not upset if I come to, Sheila John. Okay, but I'm with the Sheila, I'm not in Sheila ward. What's the Sheila do? Should she go to, and I'm in Miller ward. I cannot complain to her, I didn't care to him. So.
she should go to him.
She should come to me.
She should go to him.
But that's not happening with you all.
What do you mean? Peanut, let me say something, man. If
Okay,
anybody in my area got a problem,
okay,
they come to me. I'll take it to that man.
okay.
Now, I don't know what kind of experiences you have had.
I'll wait till that person get here, because you don't just throw, I'm not gonna throw a person under the bus like that, but it's not happening. Because another person took charge of something that happened in another war.
Well, I do that all the time.
And if you have a chain of command, You gotta do it both ways. I mean, it gotta be structured from the top to the bottom. Or it's not gonna be structured at all. And it's hard to say for a citizen to come and say, I see the mayor walking the street, I'm gonna tell him a complaint.
Well,
But some people feel comfortable talking to them instead of talking to another person. So you can't, it's hard. I mean, I've been in the military, and I done broke the chain of command, and I was there to DOD in Richmond. Yeah, I got chewed out at the end, because to me, the ones at the National Guard weren't helping me. But when I made that phone call downtown, and the airman called me back at 6 o'clock that morning, things happen.
Yeah, if you go to in this war, but it's really him, then that person should be going to.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but some people, feel like it's controlling a lot of wars.
it's controlling a lot of wars.
It's speaking up for a lot of wars, and put it like that. Yeah.
Well, you know the way I look at that? I might be a councilman, but if I go there and tell about him, or if I come in your neighborhood and somebody come up to me and say, well, this ain't right or this ain't right, I'll get on the telephone and call, just like when we had that problem over there on 2nd Street. I went over there and took care of that.
Well, okay, but look what you just said. What we just saying we should be doing. You should have called Miss Thompson and informed her.
Long story.
But that's a war.
Long
You
story.
should have called her and let her handle and talk to that person, and then you all handle. I mean, you can't set structure for the other people. You're not gonna go have structure for yourself. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
It gotta go both ways.
As far as staff goes, if we need to communicate better, we'll do so. If we need to let you know more what's going on, I'll try to let you know what's going on in East End. We'll go down and meet people. If that's indeed what needs to happen, I'd be more than happy to improve the performance and do such things.
I mean, look, I take the war very seriously.
But I think Lonnie's got
You
a
should.
point. And
I
maybe
take it
we'll-
seriously, man. I take the
We
war
can't
seriously.
mandate the citizens to do anything, who to
Right.
talk to. They're gonna come up to you, whether they grab the mayor, or they grab you, or whatever. But as far as staff goes, we'll try to improve and communicate, let y'all know more what's going on.
I think everything, if it wasn't running smoothly, you tell us. I do think it's a good idea if it's something important on the job, somebody probably should go to that department head rather than coming straight to you. There might be something that can be handled before it gets to you.
As far as chain of command, one of the things that I would like to ask is, when council people have a question or something like that, I don't mind you asking the department head, but I think sometimes department heads get to the point where they don't know, should I answer, or do I respond to the newspaper inquiry or FOIA request? What do I do?
See, that happened to me with
That'll make it easier if we all know kind of what's going on,
Yeah.
department head and me, and then,
cause that when y'all were having trouble with the police, right? And I walked up to him. The first thing he said, "Man, I can't say nothing to you. You were trying to fire me. I'm not trying to fire you." So,
I think sometimes it puts the department heads in a little tough spot. They get an email, hey, how about the leaves on such and such a street?
Yeah.
Well, let's address that next council meeting
right,
at the end.
right.
It's not out of control, but I do think it causes some of the department heads to think,
Let's just talk about that at the next meeting at the end, just to get it, because I know one does that more than the other.
Can I just ask a question? What kind of power do the mayor have?
One thing about it, the mayor can't vote. That's his
No,
time.
I know he can't vote to get vetoed and stuff like that, but I'm talking about power-wise.
Not a huge
He
amount.
just got a title that says, I'm the mayor.
He runs the meeting.
And sign
I mean,
paperwork.
run the meeting.
It's on the town code, you can look it up, it says very specifically what the mayor does and what the town manager does and what the council does.
Right.
And, is he his position as the mayor in Blackstone, maybe not in other places, like in Richmond, you have a strong mayor, that LeVar Stoney's got a lot of authority, because they don't have a city manager, he's got like an administrative team or whatever. So he's more like an executive, like Trump is, and you got Congress. In Blackstone, I think it's a little different. I think he's more on par with the town council.
More the man that called the meeting to order and just say,
I mean, though he has to sign off on the bills too, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's, where he's on the check signing card and all
Right.
that stuff. He's more on par rather than an independent, if that's a good explanation of the structure. He's, the mayor and town council are on the same par. In the city of Richmond, he's a island to himself, and then the city council's.
I'm just curious.
Okay,
Thank you.
we'll cover the third one now.
Yeah, okay.
Human resource. I think the committee needs a little bit more time on that, don't you, Manny? So I think we need more time on
Let's
that.
structure it and let's talk to the girls that work here. Tell me what you're looking for, what you want to do. There's a human resource director that does everything. I've said it to council at the retreat. We can always use more Indians. I'm not sure we need another chief.
But what I was saying was, and y'all know how I feel about it. And I might well come on out and say it. You might as well give her a job and bring Chelsea over there.
Well, we're going to talk about all that here in a little bit because we've got some recent announcements that I need to let you know, and we're going to look at some reorganization.
Okay.
If you want to get into that, I can now. One of our employees, the lady that did the budget billing and was helping Brenda, she resigned last week. And no acrimony or anything. She said, I want to do something different. And her name was Jessica Meadows, and she's left for town. In doing so, I do still have the concern that Brenda decides she's going to retire, because she really could retire. She's got 44 or 45 years with the town, so she chose to leave.
Who is Brenda?
Brenda Bryant.
Bryant.
She does
Works in
the
the
one
back.
utility bill. Yeah, she doesn't come to the counter a huge amount, but she's in
Got
the
the
back.
black hair?
Yeah,
Okay.
about her color, but she,
Yeah, okay.
You can ride by here and see her car parked out here,
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock in the morning.
Yep. And so she's been here a really, really long time. And I'm not sure she's going to be here. And part of the reason we had hired somebody for that position was to learn how to do billing. We've got some ideas, and it may affect exactly what you're talking about, is making some moves. We have to talk to the employees. We talked to one of them yesterday to see if they wanted to go over there and fill that role. And
Is it more money?
Huh?
Is it more money?
I think for that employee it'd be more money, and depending on what the assignments maybe we were to do with Chelsea or Chastity, may have to be some more money too. Yeah.
Okay.
But she's already making appreciably more than the other girls that we're talking about.
Hey, Philip, I got one more question.
Yes, sir.
If you get terminated from the town, like I said, I don't put people out, but how long does it take before I can come back and reapply?
You can reapply next week. Probably won't hire you, but you can reapply. There's no set time that you can or
I
can't.
think the bus shop has a rehire policy.
They may have a
Remember,
bus shop, right?
He kept having somebody resign and then 2 weeks later want to come back, and I think
Yeah, I
last
remember
year,
that. Yeah, I
his
remember that.
policy has a rehire, I don't believe ours
Correct.
does.
I think the bus may, but for the regular town, somebody in the street department or one of the ladies across the hall or something, or even one of the officers, they can
Okay.
reapply anytime.
Hypothetically, I'm a water treatment operator. I came up and I wasn't right. So you let me go. So how long would it be before you would even consider hiring
It
me?
would have to depend on the situation.
I mean, if you knew the man and you wanted him to work, you could hire that man the same. Right. Okay.
I can hire him back. Now, if it were because drugs or alcohol or failing a test or something, I probably wouldn't. I think that marriage is probably irrevocably broken.
Because of the one strike rule.
Well, yeah, we're giving one strike now. We've tightened up on that. I probably wouldn't rehire somebody if we terminated them for that.
Really, it's such a liability after they fail it the first time.
Yeah.
Because something happens like
If that
boom,
person
well, you knew
gets
they had a
car
problem.
accident or something,
Yeah.
and then you just open it up.
But I mean, if they're just gonna be like a garbage man or picking up trash or something.
I mean, I know there's several that have been terminated that approached me for jobs, but one, I don't have a position open, and two, I think there's some substance abuse issues that I would refrain from hiring.
But do we have a program for that, you know, like if somebody get popped on a drug test? Why can't the first time you send them for a treatment or something?
The way it was when I was here back in the 90s, if you had a problem and you came forward and said, look, I got a problem, man,
They couldn't
then they
bother you.
would help you. But
Right.
if it just happens
But
after
if
you
it
get
comes
popped,
to
then
it,
that's it.
if that man comes that morning, you can't holler, I need help.
So still, so in a sense, you want them to volunteer to come.
That's the way it was when I was here working for Chief Shields.
Before they get,
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta go, I mean, that's the town policy, isn't it?
That's always been like it.
That's the town policy,
That was like
right?
it when I was over
If
here in
you
the
hot,
early
you
90s.
come and tell me, then I'll send you to school or something.
In 1990, Lonnie, you were here working, you probably remember, we started doing drug testing.
Right.
I was here because I got popped the first 2 times. I thought y'all were looking for something.
So nonetheless, we started probably in 95, thereabouts, started testing everybody. And he had a 2-strike rule. The first strike, you had to begin and complete and follow an employee assistance plan, EAP. If you look at back of the town's insurance cards, it's actually covered by insurance. EAP, Employee Assistance Plan. And you had to, before you could come back, you weren't automatically terminated, before you could come back, you had to pass a test showing that you were clean, and 2, you had to satisfactorily complete the program, and we had to receive in writing from your medical review officer, your MRO, a letter saying he can come back. And sometimes they would send us a letter and said, he's still undergoing treatment. In 8 weeks, we expect him to be able to come back.
Well, see,
What
we-
is it?
so you still have that?
No, they changed the drug.
We did that
policy.
for 25 years, and last year, I think the council chose that they were gonna do more of the 1-strike deal.
Yeah, because of the bus system, that's how it all
But they can
started.
still, if they, we do a 0 tolerance now, but they can still come to us
Yeah.
prior and say, I've got a problem, as long as it's not the day of the
Yeah,
drug
but
test.
you announce it, you can't do that.
If it's the day of the
Right.
test,
We
yeah,
can
that's
get
what-
them help, so they can come, and if they come on their own, you know, prior to the day of the drug test, and say, I need help, we can set them up with that. But it is a
Yeah,
0
it's covered
tolerance.
by our
Do
insurance.
you think council, do you think council really
And even
studied
if
the
they're
thing?
part-time,
Because, you
we
know,
have
I was saying that
affiliates
you could
that
take
will
the
help
bus
the
shop,
part-timers who
if
don't
that's
have
one
to
strike,
be
but,
part of
you know,
it.
these garbage workers and people like that, you know, maybe they should get
Maybe we
another
should
shot.
revise it, maybe, I don't know. We can talk about maybe a revision for somebody just with an operator CDL permit.
Right, yeah. Because if you get down to the technical part of it, let's face it, you got people making $9 an hour.
I think the
that-
minimum is now 10. I think
Okay,
that's-
well, you know, people are not perfect. So therefore, I'm saying a garbage man or somebody that I can see with a CDL or you working on electricity or something like that. But I definitely think for the garbage people, I think we need to restudy this thing and see if we can
I'll
get,
be honest with you, I think we ought to do 2 strikes.
that's what I think.
I always, for everybody.
Well, but Josh can't do 2 strikes.
He can't.
Josh can't.
He
because
can't.
He's got some federal money,
He
but
can't.
as far as those people that we can, I advocate 2 strikes. It's worked in the past, but I get the
All
other
right,
part too.
what's your feeling on if somebody gets popped, he's got a CDL to drive vehicles around town? Not just riding them, but driving them.
Yeah, they got
The same, set two?
They gotta leave work,
Yeah,
yeah.
but they
You
got
leave work
CDL,
until
they
you
lose
pass
that.
your,
No, he's saying if you get popped while you driving, so you driving a town vehicle, you got a CDL, and you have an
And you
accident.
get pulled
or
that
something.
day to go take your test and you don't pass it.
we've had, we pulled a garbage.
So,
and all our
But see,
truck
what you gotta be
driver
careful
do
is
a
you
2-3 one
you
day.
can't do one for one and not for the
I
other.
think it's for every employee.
So every
But that's-
employee,
Oh, I get what you're saying, because the
Yeah.
bus has the
Supposed to be.
CDL drivers,
Yeah.
and they're at 0 tolerance.
They are
The
0
garbage
tolerance.
CDL, I get what you're saying, you got.
Well, I agree with Philip, and I think that it needs, probably needs to come back to council. I think a 2 strike. What you
I'll ask
think?
you guys if you wanna do that.
I
We've only been
think
doing
you
it
should
about a year.
maybe give a 2-strike unless, and you know when, off the bat, if you got a CDL, you don't get a 2-strike.
No.
You get a
I
one,
will
that's
ask
it.
Tessie to make sure that that's
Yeah.
correct. But, yeah, that's fine.
Because we're paying people more for a CDL than
But we
somebody
are
not.
regular workers.
So, you know, if you got a CDL, that means we're assuming you're gonna be driving around town all day.
We need to ask
But if you're
council
riding a truck,
if we can,
you know,
We put a
if
garbage
you're
truck
drunk,
in
high
the-
marijuana, you
if
fall
we
off the trash truck,
can
that's
do
on
one
you.
for the bus drivers and 2 for the
Yeah,
other.
because that might be,
Yeah.
okay.
Cause she was here tonight, it was said, cause somebody from Richmond had jumped on Josh. That's what, how this thing all boiled
Yeah.
That's
down.
exactly what it was.
Right.
They asked him
Yeah.
and said, no, it's gotta be a
Right.
1 strike,
Right.
they get federal
Well, let's ask Tessie about that. I said, if you have a CDL, you have the understanding that you do not fail,
Can't tell.
You can't feel
can't
good.
fail.
I said, there was a garbage truck driver years ago, over here when you were out.
Mhm.
Took him off the truck and he blew a 2-3. That's what, 4 times the legal, 3 times the legal limit, and was just as steady you'd have never known.
You're pretty alcoholic.
That's true.
So,
I would
So
like
did
to
you
bring one thing
fine
up
or
before
what?
he finished the meeting.
Did you find?
no, give him a second chance.
Same thing.
He got a second chance. I think he retired from the firm, actually. I think he stayed with the firm.
Somebody approached me after we did the raises last time with a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
If we have employees, especially like the police department or like Jennifer's, if they get a degree, and it's like that's one of the things we were basing raises on, a degree. I think they should have to bring that degree in, let us make a copy of it, put it in their file.
Yeah.
Documentation.
I mean, bring the actual degree in so we
Right.
can copy it. Don't bring a copy in. Bring the actual
your-
degree in so we
bring-
can copy
actually
it.
Bring the original
It's
copy.
easy to find. You can just find, yeah, I mean, if there's ever a question, you can call Southside or
Yeah.
Longwood, you can talk to
Shouldn't
anyone.
you get a little bit more money if you got a degree?
We've been talking about
Now,
pay
next
scale.
month you'll be able to holler about the light bill. I don't know.
The compensation study, I think I brought to you guys first, that should be completed by the 1st of February. They had a little bit of a delay on getting responses from the localities. I guess end of year was real busy, so they had a couple extensions, but I said I need it by the beginning of February because I want you guys to see it first. You're the first ones we brought it to. So and that'll look at salaries and degrees and all
In a
that.
position. Okay. I got no
Cool.
problem with
So
that.
do you want that degree requirement moving forward or proactive? Anybody that has?
Let's
wanna
move
bring
forward,
it in?
just, for ones that already have it,
Bring it in.
bring it in so we can put it in their file.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do it now.
Do we have to take that to council, or can that just be procedure? Or
No, what, just tell them to bring the stuff in?
Yeah.
No, no.
Oh,
Well, I had to
that's,
go
Just a
before
memo.
council.
that's no different than
Oh, yeah,
actually
to
bring
do-
your,
But if, I think
Really
if you're
send
gonna
memo to all the
start paying
supervisors.
Yeah.
people for those degrees, then yeah.
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 Okay. So there's really no recommendations, because we've tabled the loans for employees. Chain of command, you did want to bring up at council, but you didn't have a recommendation, correct, the chain of command for staff, correct? Okay.
yeah, because when we talked about that, I got one council person in mind that just kept popping in my head.
And so we're gonna table the, drug policy too, we're gonna get with Tessie and get back.
Yeah.
on
Yes.
that.
Just make sure.
But we should have,
separate like
but
that.
we should have, some answers before next meeting, right? Cause we've got 2-3 weeks for
Yeah,
next week.
because the meeting's later,
Yeah,
so
so
hopefully,
we should
so
have
I'll
some-
just email update you on that, and then,
Okay.
okay.
Alright.
Anything else?
Anything else?
Sorry I'm late.
I don't have anything else. We, again, Jessica left. We had some new bus drivers come on. We lost a bus driver.
Yeah, I saw one of your bus drivers Sunday, man. He got the thing in his throat.
Yeah. So
Cannot.
we've had a little turnover in the bus drivers. But I do want to tell you, we're going to talk about it at Finance Committee, I think, here in an hour. Remember the bus drivers? We talked about what salary, because Josh is doing his budget this time of the year. Okay, so he's in advance of any decisions that have been made. So I've advised him to include in his budget $14 an hour for those CDL drivers. That's the same we pay the garbage man. There's some issue in that, well, I've been driving here for 14 years, and I'm gonna pay the same as the new guy, but otherwise,
Yeah, you take the 14 and run. That's
All right,
what
so-
you know to do.
I heard, has anybody put in a resignation from the police department recently?
Yeah, that's another one. If you'd like to go in closed session, I can maybe just.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah,
go.
like,
Would y'all have time for that?
Yeah.
So we gotta be specific on the closed session, right, to discuss.
I forgot about that
Somebody
thing.
Come on. We'll get you an application here in just a second.
Just gotta say, move to go into, to just discuss personnel.
All they got down there is,
hard
old
workers,
retirees.
man.
That's all they got.
Said, I mean,
All right, so
said,
this concludes the regular part, open session. Now
Yeah,
we're
but
going to
then I
close.
gotta turn the video off.
Yeah, you can make a motion to go into closed session, discuss personnel matters, and you gotta vote the state code section. To talk about
Philip to read
individual.
it, and then you,
Yeah, okay.
you gotta read.
Read it.
Okay, to discuss discuss consideration or interviews of prospective.
You want me to do it?
candidates on assignment, appointment, promotion, performance, demotion, disciplining, or resignation of specific public officers, appointees, or employees of any public body. We certify we're only gonna talk about that, I guess. You can
Certify.
make a motion to go into closed session.
Make a motion to go into service. Second.
Second.
I think so.
I leave Blackstar right now.